Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk, entertainment in Canada around the world. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm a fellow of Law Institute of Canada, broker of record for City Pro Realty Inc.Brokerage. My passion is real estate and your success is my priority. The goal of Realty Coffee Talk is to create connectivity, increase awareness, and building consumer confidence in real estate and promote good ethics and business practices. Today, we're going to talk about the pandemic impact on real estate and prediction for 2022. The biggest challenge that came because of pandemic is affordability. Affordability is directly linked with the shortage supply of housing. As reported in the past episode, approximately from last October to this October, there was 50% reduction in new listing. Obviously, more buyer than seller. It became a seller market. And because affordability become issue when the prices rise so much, based on the report that I shared with you, 18.2% from last October to this October, price change, unbelievable. That affected the buyer's ability to buy a property. And most of the young home buyers are forced to live with their parents for a longer period of time or need them to provide the down payment or other funding assistance. Because majority of our youth who are entering in the profession after spending master's or professional designation have student loans. And the way the ladder works is that the new buyer comes in at the ground level, which is basically condominium apartment. People who are living in the condominium apartment are moving toward townhomes, and the townhome families are moving toward semi-detached or detached home. It's kind of natural progression for a home ownership process. This has totally changed. Lots of people who stay in the older home couldn't sell their property because if they want to relocate, unless they're downsizing, they couldn't afford it. Because the new stress test that we have, 5.25 to qualify for mortgage, makes it very difficult to demonstrate the income level to qualify for the mortgage. And because the income, the salary income has declined, people lost their job, or it has impacted it in a certain industries. Even though it's opening up the market, all precautions are being taken now, and we are trying to become a normalized society again, and so economy can boom. But there are still people who are suffering financially, need government assistance program, and government will be announcing some new program to help to pay for the bills. So this is why it's been a pandemic has tremendously. We're going to share with you our GTA report, and also I'm going to share with you the federal report issued by Canadian Real Estate Association and also Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. Statistic, where is going and how we can see how we're going to predict for 2022 sales. So it's a part and parcel with the stuff. Because when you have situation, we have recently an incident where people are having a line outside a house for appointment. And people who are a realtor who has booked an appointment is taking longer time, which is interrupting the schedule of the person who's waiting in line to go show the property. And sometimes because of stress, remember, if you have one house and you have 15 offers, only one will be the winner. So there will be 14 frustrated real estate agent and as well as the buyers. So in this kind of environment, one of the incident happened in my brokerage, and I end up writing to a other broker, and we talk about that. How can we help people and educate our client, where the consumer will talk to the other realtor, which has nothing to do with the property. He wants to show a property, but the consumer have an interaction and very abusive behavior. So idea again is, as a real estate professional, if I am taking my client to show a property, and I will educate them the process and protocol, that any question or anything they have to do with the property, they need to speak to myself as a buyer representative, not to the other buyer broker who is trying to show the property to his client and to be abusive about it, especially when you're dealing with a woman who are realtors. So this is very important, that we need as a brokerage to make sure consumer, when they are visiting, and we understand that there is a lot of stressful environment, and this could be a cause of a lot of stress and also aggression maybe between a buyer agent and the buyer client. So we need to calm down and be patient about it and make sure they understand and educate them about the process. It is very true. It's very true. When you are having a 15 offers, I was talking to that broker of record, he said he has 70 offers on one listing. Imagine the mayhem that they have to deal with it. And this is all because now we are in 11th month of the 2021, and there's one more left, and we have Christmas holidays and New Year is going to be starting. So people will be, in fact, more pushing, more trying to get the deal, and there is a prediction the mortgage rate will be going up. And I have seen, as a principal broker, I have seen the notification from the banks, they're going to increase the interest rate for the transaction starting in February 2022. So people are buying the property now to make sure that transaction completes on time. So there is a stress level, but we're all human. This is beyond our control. Real estate professionals are only expert in dealing with residential or commercial real estate based on their experience. So if you have financial issue or concern, you need to have a conversation, because you may not be able to find a property within the jurisdiction that you are going to buy. You may have to go out of town. Depending on it, it's a smart thing to move. Prices of even going out of like Toronto, Mississauga, or Oakville are going out. Other areas has also doubled almost. So this is why it's very important to have a strategy. Develop a strategy how I'm going to buy a home that meets my need, education need, health need, close to the hospital, close to the school, and also transportation till you get back to work. So there are going to be a lot of things that you need to discuss with a buyer who wants to buy a property, because this is very, very sure, and this has been a complaint that I have received from many, many people. Why realtor list a property lower than what they're expected to gain? For example, if you list a property for $700,000 and I call you, are you realistic? Why did you list $700,000? Because similar property sold for $900,000 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago. Oh, this is what the seller wants. And it's all legal. But it doesn't show a good impression on the realtors that they're using it, because later on they're going to claim that, oh, they sold for $950 or $940, and whereas the last property sold for $920, $930 or $940 already. So there's no sense of doing that. You need to help educate your client. This is the market value, and this is what you're going to list the property. But then decision is of the seller. But there is no illegal about it. It just doesn't give a good impression as a professional. So idea is to create a CMA and discuss about it and be reasonable. And sometimes it'll happen that nobody put an offer on it. And then what do? You're going to end up reducing the price. Yesterday I saw a price for a client. It was reduced from the list in Toronto from where it is and what it is now. So why, if you expect this to be 100,000 more than list price, nobody bought the property what you listed. So it doesn't give a good impression. It may fire back this strategy, but it's legal. People do it, but it creates an impression in the mind of the buyer. If they're asking for 900,000, they expect that, maybe 9.5, 9.10, or maybe 8.90. But when property is listed at 7 and you expect to have a asking price to be, or seller not going to accept anything less than 950 or whatever, it doesn't show good faith, good impression. So we need to change that, clear that perception that it's nothing to do with us, but we have to encourage and educate sellers that we need to put a realistic price. Unfortunately, we have only 50% of the inventory what we had in last October than what we have in October 2021. And that is the cause of it, because there are more buyers than the seller. And it's just surprising, isn't it? The pandemic, when we're doing less business, we have done more business than ever. In Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, I will share with you the data during my course of presentation. We have already exceeded the total sale of 106,745,000 transactions in 2021, and this is only for 8 months, and 2 months are still remaining. Whereas in December last year, 2020, we have a 95,070 transaction. So you can see, and my prediction is an average of 9,800 is being sold in October. So I'm expecting that it's going to go over 125,000 transactions in 2021. So we're going to have a breaking record. We already brokered real estate record transaction exceeding total per year from 95,070 from 2020 to 2021 of 106,740 already in 10 months. So you can see that the trend will continue. So this is why it's very, very important now. There is no waiting for the buyers. I tell you, if you are serious about buying the property, buy it now. There is no waiting game. Price is not going to change because your construction costs have increased. 35 to 40% of the material cost has increased. So what do you think? The labor is increased. Management, operation, construction has increased. And this is why I do not feel that there is going to be any reduction in prices. It is possible that you will have a reduction in sales, but prices will not affect the price. I do not predict. I'm going to share with you the historic data, what are the predictions from Canadian Real Estate Association, and also the data that shows from Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. As you know, the biggest two MLS systems are ITSO, Information Technology System Ontario, ITSO, that has 22 boards put together MLS system, and sometimes some of those listing data is not shared with TREB, Toronto Regional Board, or some of the real estate board has missed the data that is not shared by, or it is entered on both systems to have accurate information. SPI price index, there would be variation, and I think the boards are working with each other to make sure that a very true statistic is provided to everyone. So again, stress level is increasing, a mortgage approval process, and also when you are taking a 20% down, putting a 20% down, and then CMHC is not involved, there is appraisal required because bank is going to take the risk of the financing of your house mortgage. Therefore, they're going to get an appraisal. and sometimes it takes a longer time to get it. And in our multiple offer that I have seen, people are putting unconditional offer. No inspection is being done, and no mortgage conditions are being put, or any other challenges, environmental issues, septic tank, maybe there are water well pumps, quantity, volume, or quality is issues. So when you don't put these kind of conditions in the when they're putting in a bidding war, if you put any condition based on what we have now, you're not going to get the property. I think I shared in one of my episodes last time, we have a buyer. We put condition for the mortgage and first-time buyer, and we also put condition for 1 day for inspection and status review of the condominium. But when we put the offer, we gave them until 6 o'clock next day. In the morning, we got the mortgage approval, so we revised the offer. Hour later, we got the lawyer review the status certificate. We removed that. Inspection was already a newer house, very beautiful condition. So the buyer removed that, and they gave the price, and their offer was accepted. So that means we are doing due diligence. If you want to put an offer, try to take your inspector, arrange a time, go quickly check thing. Mostly home inspection is visual. And then you also have infrared cameras, and the inspector they can check the wall to make sure there's no moisture penetration, or there is no any grow house pollution or air pollution and all that stuff. When you are buying a living house, you will have a less likely of any problem. But if it's a vacant house and nobody run the HVAC system, then you're going to have a dust and other issues. And that's why it's a good idea to invest a couple $100 for the home inspection. If you are going to buy it, you're going to buy almost $1 million home or a unit. Why don't you spend $200-300 and get this inspection? Majority of the sellers agent are providing home pre-inspection for you to do it, to help you to give a very unconditional offer, because they encourage you. They will tell you the more benefit you have a deposit ready, you have unconditional offer or less condition, whatever, and early closing or close to the early that seller wants. They don't care about your situation. But this is where planning will come handy, because when you sit down with your buyer and you have a strategy, and buyer is supposed to talk with a realtor, develop a strategy, create a budget, and allocate time and effort to make sure that you seek the service of other professionals. Section 8 of Ontario Real Estate Regulation 580-05, which is a code of conduct of Real Estate Business Broker Act, it says that if you need help from other professionals, for example, mortgage, appraisal, home inspector, HVAC system, or environmental specialist, go hire other professional. Help your client find other professional to make sure they do their due diligence. If you're going to put this a condition unconditional offer, and remember to use the Form 127 that talks about the waiving the condition that you wanted to put in. The buyer decided not to move the condition. It is not just having to sign that form that you told the buyer to do this and do not, but you also made effort. You provide them information. This is the inspector. These are the inspectors. These are the mortgage brokers. These are the lawyers you should seek. These are environmental engineers or appraisals that you should use. So make sure that you are not only just getting them to sign a waiver, but you're also making effort to give them the information, and then based on the condition of the property, make appropriate recommendation to your client to seek advice of other professionals, accounting, even in accounting, financing, mortgages, inspection, lawyer. Lawyer is very important. When you are putting an offer, and you work with the lawyers. I always work with lawyers, and when I had conditions there based on type of the house, if it's a freehold, or is a freehold with a parcel of tied land, or is a condominium, whether apartment or townhome or you discuss certain things with your lawyer and make sure you put that condition. Sometimes you have to do assignment, mortgage condition, or assuming a property. There are so many things that you should form a team of professionals from the day one, so the buyer, first-time buyer, feel comfortable that they are able to work with you as a professional. As you know, I'm a fellow of Real Estate of Canada. I'm a certified real estate specialist. I'm a certified international property specialist. I'm a senior real estate specialist dealing with seniors. I'm also seller representative specialist selling houses. I'm also accredited buyer representative buying the property. And this is why we take these courses to acquire this extra knowledge and skill set that give us negotiating power and knowledge to deliver a valuable service to our client. Cost of buying a FRI and a realtor is the same. A realtor is a trademark of Canadian Real Estate Association. And FRI is a fellow of Real Estate of Canada. It's a trademark of Canadian Real Estate Association. Since 1954, they were giving this designation to the industry leaders, mentor, educator. And they're recognized across Canada, expert witness in real estate. And they're recognized because they're mentor educators. And you can see this Realty Coffee Talk is part and parcel of what I have learned and I'm sharing with you to educate you about real estate or mortgage financing. As you know, I'm also principal broker. I have a license and also president of Canada Express Mortgage Inc. license number 13241 is required by law to disclose that. So I can give you advice to make sure in this pandemic, you're not getting panicky. You're going to develop a strategy working with me to buy a property that makes sure that you get the property at the price that is reasonably justified based on the market condition and is calculated in a way to make sure you win, not to lose, but not go overboard. You have a budget and we have to remain within the budget. And if it doesn't make any sense, it doesn't make any sense. It's not true. Don't go it. Don't defeat the logic. Because emotionally when you get involved with the property, then there is no limit to it. A real estate professional cannot help you. All realtors are the same. We are licensed by Real Estate Council of Ontario as a salesperson or a broker. Broker, when is registered with as a complying officer, pass a resolution by the brokerage and approved by Real Estate Council of Ontario, they become broker of record. I'm a broker of record. We have an obligation to withhold the law, Real Estate Business Broker Act, to make sure all employees are in compliance. And we are held responsible to the highest standard. And Real Estate Council do audit inspection for the brokerage. And it's one thing I'm going to point out here is about, before we take the break, is about deposit. And Real Estate Council of Ontario, a consumer complained that he or she did not get the deposit back. So deposit is two things. Either you have signed a mutual release to release the fund, then the broker record has a legal obligation in accordance with the Business Broker Act to return that deposit. Or if there is a court order to release the deposit, broker record is responsible to return the deposit. If for some reason that the broker record does not return the deposit, you have a right to go and complain to Real Estate Council of Ontario. They have a protocol. They will invite all buyer and seller. Anybody is involved, that if you have a complaint against a specific brokerage, you can claim, you can reach out to them. They will tell you what the protocol is. They will give you contact information and everything. And you also, any employee of the brokerage, because when RICO will take disciplinary action violation, this is a very serious breach and contravention of Real Estate Business Broker Act. They will take very serious action. So if you are dealing with a company and you want to submit an offer or a deposit, please make sure, go to visit RECO, reco.on.ca to check out the company that you are dealing with is representing you as a seller or buyer, is registered and their license is active by visiting RECO, reco.on.ca, and also the broker, salesperson, or a real estate agent or a real estate broker working with you to check it out. They will have carrying a license with them so they can show you, but you can also visit reco.on.ca to make sure they have a valid license. We're going to take a small break and we'll come back. You're watching Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment.
आपकी रिहाइश ऐसी हो जहां जिंदगी की सहूलत मयस्सर हो, जो आपको बुलंदियों पर ले जाए, तो मिलिए रियल एस्टेट मार्केट के एक्सपीरियंस्ड रियल एस्टेट प्रोफेशनल अमित ओबेरॉय से। जीटीए में रियल एस्टेट मार्केट के हर अंदाज से वाकिफ। आपको घर खरीदना हो, बेचना हो या करना हो मुनाफे का इन्वेस्टमेंट, मेरे तजुर्बे से आज ही फायदा उठाएं। आज ही कॉल करें अमित ओबेरॉय 647-291-8102। Amit Oberoi, beautiful homes you can afford.
Zoc, now it's fully renovated. Live catering, barbecue, tandoor, जलेबियाँ, fresh naan. तकरीब आपके घर में हो या घर से बाहर, Zoc is providing full service now, and Zoc has opened a new banquet hall, garden event center. आपका Zoc देखकर लोग कहेंगे क्या Zoc है आपका? Call right now 905-625-7786. Zoc वालों के लिए।
डिक्सी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स और अप्लायंसेस पिछले 16 सालों से खरीदारों की खिदमत कर रहे हैं। हम लगातार 4 सालों से खरीदारों की पहली पसंद बने रहने का अवार्ड हासिल कर चुके हैं। हम किचनर्स, बॉश, वर्लपूल, एलजी, सैमसंग और जनरल इलेक्ट्रिक के ऑथराइज्ड डीलर हैं। 5 स्टार खिदमत का लुत्फ लें। हम आप सभी को टीवी सबसे ज्यादा रियायती दामों पर देने की गारंटी देते हैं। www.dixieelectronics.ca हमारी वेबसाइट पर जाएं या अभी कॉल करें 905-625-5900। सभी बहुत ही मुनासिब कीमत पर दस्तयाब हैं, जो आप बाआसानी से ले सकते हैं। At Dixie, we sell quality and deliver confidence.
अगर आप चाहते हैं खूबसूरत विजिटिंग कार्ड, साइन बोर्ड्स, बिल बोर्ड्स, तो कॉल कीजिए अमनदीप सिंह को 416-577-5128 416 डिजिटल साइन।
Welcome back to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm the host. Today we're going to talk about now prediction for 2022. I'm going to share with you Korea, Canadian Real Estate Association report issued 15 November in Ottawa. The national sales, we're going to talk about nationally across Canada. National sales price rose 8.6% on a month-over-month basis in October. Actual non-seasonally adjusted monthly activity was down 11%. So sales rose up across Canada, but the sale was down. The activity was down 11.5% year over year. Number of newly listed properties climbed 3.2% from September to October. MLS Home Price Index, we call MLS HPI, rose 2.7% month from last September to October, and was up 23.4% year over year. And home sale recorded over Canadian MLS system were up 8.6%. Just month over month since July 2020. So there's an 8.6% increase from September to October. Sales were up month over month in about 3/4 of all local markets in all major cities. Vancouver, Toronto, Calgary. These are the just mentioning. We're going to share those information. On a year-to-date sale some 581,275 transaction residential properties traded hands via Canadian system from January to October 2021, surpassing the annual record of 552,423 sales for all of 2020. So we have already surpassed for 2020. The actual, not seasonally adjusted national average sale price posted an average of 18.2% year over year again in October. So last October to this, 18.2% increase is done in October. So now we're going to talk about some statistics. So we're going to talk about some prediction as well. Canada-wide, they predicted in 2020 was 552,433 transactions, and annual percentage change was 12.5%. And they forecasted for 2021 for 656,284 for 21 transaction and 18.8, and 2022 forecast is 576,951 minus 12.1. So that means they're going to be expecting a lower transaction sales in across Canada for the real estate, minus 12.1. So I'm going to talk about Ontario because we work in a license in Ontario. So Ontario prediction was the total sale will be 228,116 and 8.8. These are the actual. And now forecast for this year was 263,799 across Ontario, 15.6% annual percentage of change. And now forecast is 223,216, which is minus 15.4 projection for 2021. This is the sales activity forecast for Ontario. So British Columbia was supposed to be 94,006 in 2020, 3.8 percentage of change. And forecast for 21 was 125,071, so increase 33% change in 21. And then forecast is now 102,877 minus 17.7. And now the biggest after that is Quebec. Quebec prediction was 112,197 2020, 16.1% annual change. In forecast was 113,069, and annual percentage share 2021 for Quebec is 0.8 positive. That means it's still going to go up, and they are predicting 113,000. 316, 0.2% positive. That means there is a sale activity is expected to grow. So these are the major areas where this is happening. Now we're going to talk about average price forecast for across Canada. So we're going to talk about the average price in 2020 across Canada was 567,332, and there was a 12.9% increase, percentage of change. But in 2020, they predicted average price 680,225 and 19.9% percentage of annual change in across Canada. And they're predicting for 2022, 718,206, which is a 5.6% increase and average price change for across Canada. So we're going to pick up 3 or 4 major markets. So British Columbia has prediction for 2020 was 781,559 and average price. Percentage of change was 11.6. In 2021, it was 912,286 average price, and percentage of change was 16.7. So from 20, it was 11.6. In 2021, it was 16.7. And their forecasting for 2022 is 947,434, which is 3.9% percentage of change for 2020. So it's in a positive category in British Columbia. In Ontario, we have 705,689 average price. It was 16% change, annual change, and in 2021 is just 860,443, and annual percentage change is 21.9% in 2021. And prediction for Ontario is 942,329 an average price, and with a positive 9.5%. If you remember, I mentioned about 10% increase in 2022, and that is telling you this here, right here, that we still have 2 more months to go through. So prediction is you can have about expect that about 10% increase in price, because transactions are still in a minus situation because you don't have an inventory. Also, Quebec, $376,841 average price, 16.5% and annual percentage of change, and 447,640 2021 forecast, and 18.8% price change, annual price change, percentage change. Now they're forecasting 2022 $500,228, and they're expecting 11.7. So the highest prediction in change of annual percentage of average price increase, 11.7% in Quebec. So if you have some connection there, you will be thinking about, so the highest is Quebec, and second lowest is 8.3 is New Brunswick. Then you have 7.8 Prince Edward Island. Then you have a 6.4 Saskatchewan. Then you have 5.6 in Newfoundland, and then you have Manitoba 2.6, and then Ontario is 9.5. So not bad. So there is all positive category for average price there. So you have an idea now, Canada-wise, what the predictions are. So basically Ontario, I'm expecting about 10% increase in 9.5 because we're still missing 2 months. So now, as you know, in October, our residential transaction was 6.9%. GTA means 416 and 905 area managed by Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. So we're going to give a quick update. Minus 6.9% sale transaction. There was October last year were 10,503, and October 21 we have 9,783 sales transactions. Therefore, they were minus. In September we are minus 18, so that it caught up with October. That means we have more sales in October. Again, we are talking about now average price in GTA for October. We have 968,835, and now in October 2021 is 1,155,349,000. 19.3% increase from last October to this October. Those general information that I provide to you are based on generic. So when you talk to a real estate professional, you ask them to create a CMA and give you a very specific price for your location. Average price is for budgeting purposes, but you need a specific price to a location, the street, and community that you are buying a property. So that's why it will be accurate. You need real estate professional to guide you. So average price is there, and then GTA, we're going to talk about GTA and also 905 area. So now we talk about new listing. So in October, we have a 17,806 listing in 2020, and we have now in 2021 11,740 minus 34.1%. In September, we were minus 34, and now we're still minus 34 in October. But average price gone up. Now, number of days in the market, October, last October, it takes 24 days to sell a property. Now it's taking 18 days. So it's minus 25 days. In September, it was 22 days and sold in 19 days. So that means going faster now and faster. 18 days, property is gone. So now I'm going to give you a quick update on the pricing for the detached home. And so 416 detached home is 1.78 million, and 905 area is 1.45 million. A semi-detached is 1.304 million in 416, and 991,000 average in 905 area. Townhome is 930,000 in 416, and 902,000 in 905 area. So apartment 744,730 in Toronto 416 area, and 634,111 in 905 area. These are average prices. You need to call your realtor professional to help you, or you have a question, give me a call. I can help you to calculate the value of your property. Year over year percentage of change. So detached home 416 was 19.5%, and 905 was 31.4%. And also semi 13.9% in 416 and 25.2% in 905 area. And townhome 7.2% in 416 and 26% in 905 area. And a condo apartment 8.5% in 416 and 18% in 905 area. So you can imagine that why is the prices are going up. So repeat again, the total sale for 2020 was 95,070, and average price in 2020 was 929,629, and we are now 106,745 transactions through Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, and we already are 1,086,304 an average price for 2021. We still have 2 more months to go. You are watching Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment. If you are a builder, you are a developer, you are a lawyer, you are a realtor, you are a brokerage, mortgage broker, agent, plumber, equipment supplier, you are lawyer, you are painter, plumber, anyone who's involved with construction, and you are watching Realty Coffee Talk, you have a special deal. I have spoken to the managing director, Ms. Jabin, to give you a special discount by advertising on Awaz Entertainment 10 times a day on television and across globe, and 30 days for only $500. So call Samina Jabin, Managing Director of Awaz Entertainment, and tell her that you are watching and you are viewer of Realty Coffee Talk. Call 647-484-0018 or send an email by visiting at www.awazent.com and get that discount. You're watching Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada around the world. You will watch our next program on next Thursday at 7 p.m. on Awaz Entertainment. Subscribe Awaz Entertainment chapter, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, so you can watch this program. Also, you can visit realtycoffee.com and also watch all the episode that is broadcast on Awaz Entertainment in Canada around the world. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. Bye for now.